Hello internets, this is BoneCarlos coming to you live from Atlantis to bring you another vlog type thing. Before we get started, I'd like to point out that my giveaway is still underway. Check out the descriptions for all the rules, the new hints, and all the prizes you can possibly win. Second announcement, quote unquote, is that leave a comment down below if you guys want me to talk about anything specific, anything at all. Really, it doesn't really matter. Let's just have some fun with it, chalavoué. But other than that, let's go ahead and get into the topic that I want to talk about this week, since I didn't have a topic last week, and that's going to be the kids, quote unquote, the younger players that play online video games that are just annoying to all hell. You guys have heard them. You guys know what I'm talking about. These 8 to 12, 13-year-olds that just scream obscenities, are annoying, and just are the prototypical, stereotypical internet troll kind of thing. And I'm not gonna bash on them. I'm not. This isn't a video where I'm just gonna bash on them for being stupid, blah blah blah. No. What I'm gonna say is actually completely the opposite. And I would say that around 60, 70, 80% of the time, these kids act this way because that's how they were taught. They have no experience on how to communicate with other people online, or they have no experience on how to deal with a loss if they are losing, and they also have no idea how to deal with a win if they are winning. From my own personal experience, how I learned through all this was going to the arcades with my older cousin in the early mid 90s. And this is mostly with NBA Jam, NFL Blitz kind of games, a lot of fighting games, such and such and such. And in that scenario, in those circumstances, no one ever made fun of or gave grief to anyone else for playing a certain way or picking a certain character. If you were a turtling guile, no one ever gave you grief for that. If you picked a certain play on NFL Blitz or NBA Jam, no one gave you crap for that, which is completely different from what's going on in online gaming nowadays. If you take one of these kids that acted the way they are now and put them back in the arcade days, back in the day, they would literally be tossed out of the arcade because no one wants to hear that. Before that would happen, of course, you would be talked to, like, hey, just chill out, it's just a game, relax, no big deal, stop acting like you're acting because you're being an idiot. And this would go on. We wouldn't just automatically counter bash them just because they bashed us in the first place. And I saw this a lot of times when I was younger. You see kids that just come in by themselves, they don't really have anyone older to look up to or really for have them talk to, and then they start like crying because they did this and they did that, and all the other gamers around them would say, hey, you know what, this is just how it is, these are ways to counter it, and we would try to help out that kid. And most of the time, 9 times out of 10, they would change, and then they would grow, and then they would develop, and then blah blah blah, everything would be hunky-dory. And then the whole cycle would continue. 5 years down the line, that guy would be teaching a new kid, and then it just go on and go on and go on and go on. Every once in a while, you got a kid that wouldn't follow this and just understand that and continually just be an idiot. And one of two things would happen. They would either be kicked out, or the older players would beat that kid off of that machine and then walk away, just to get him off the machine, because they just have no reason for them to be around that. And unfortunately, you can't do that nowadays in this gaming community. But what you can do is what I said beforehand, and that's help these kids along. I've been playing online gaming since Call of Duty 3, so around 05, 06, and in that time I've helped, not quote unquote helped, I've talked to a lot of these kids that I'm talking about now, that they started off just bashing, yelling obscenities, this, that, you know what I'm talking about. And unfortunately, because they're behind the mask of anonymity, no amount of talking to them like an adult or trying to help them out snaps them out of it. So thankfully there is a mute option in most games. Back in the day, I was playing one game where it didn't have a mute option, and yeah, I really did stop playing the game because of that. Because of the community, but that's neither here nor there. But like I was saying, since Call of Duty 3, I've been helping, kids along, just talking to them, helping them out, instead of having them just complain because they're losing. I've helped them get better at the game, pointing out little things that they could do to try to get better, and just helping them out with doing different things while they're gaming. And I would say out of the, you know, the 40% that actually listen, 9 times out of 10 those kids actually were like, whoa, hey, you know what, you got a point. And I continued talking to them, gaming with them for quite a long time until they finally moved on and did other things with their lives. But during that time, I would also hear them talking to other kids, the ideals, quote unquote, that I taught them. They would go out and hear another kid bashing and yelling, and the guys that I would help out would talk to them and be like, hey, you know, why are you doing this, blah blah blah. And it was just a nice cycle that I saw, that kind of that I started, because I knew I started because I met these kids beforehand. And it was just nice to think that I did just that little bit for that community. And if everyone just took that ideal and just took this philosophy along, the whole thing would just kind of change just a little bit. But unfortunately, I know it's not going to happen. I know I'm pretty much just pissing into the wind at this point. But to make for anyone that's listening to me, to make your guys' gaming experience that much more enjoyable, don't automatically assume that these kids are just idiots. Try to talk to them. Don't try to counter troll them. Don't feed their own massive rage. Don't do this. Don't do that. First, just talk to them. Listen to them. See what's going on. Why are they raging? What's going on here, there, everywhere? And eventually, they'll come around to see your point, or more thusly, right off the bat, you'll know that these kids are just idiots. Click off. And when I say younger kids, I mean 8 to 12. After that, they're old enough to know what the hell is going on and how you really should act. After that, most of them are pretty chill, but most of them are not. It's just 50-50. But that's what I was just trying to say. I'm kind of just rambling on and on. So just yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed this commentary. Leave a comment down below on if any of this applies to you, or your take on this kind of situation. You got any horror stories or success stories of your own, and all that other fun jazz. Other than that, I'm gonna get on out of here because there's some kind of ground quakes or something. I don't know. Someone's saying about the ocean. Who knows? I guess we're gonna go take a day trip. Later, guys.
Enemy UAV spotted. Friendly Predator missile inbound. Securing C. All positions locked down. Hold your positions. Losing A. Losing Alpha. Losing Charlie. Your escort airdrop is standing by. Victory. Good work, comrades.